Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on, guys. Hey, how's it going? Hey, man, wow. I trained already. How's it going? Hey, happy Saturday. How's everyone doing? Haven't seen you guys in a while. I apologize. I'm gonna say too, really quick, I'm a little bit sick. So if you notice like some congestion and maybe some tissues and whatever, that's what's going on. But man, I trained right off the bat. How are you guys doing? I figured I'd just jump right in and say hi to you guys. I know that I haven't seen you since this is my first stream of the year. So I did take some time off to do some traveling, and then last weekend and this weekend I just haven't been feeling the greatest. But I decided to jump back in today. So if you see my face is a little bit puffy and my nose is a little bit red, that's why. So I'm good. Just a really bad cold, I guess. Don't worry. I'm totally fine. I got tested. Don't worry. I'm all good. But just really bad cold, really bad one. I guess or flu or something. Anyways, so I'm here, and so man, so wow, right off the bat there was a lot of activity, so I appreciate it. I'm gonna call him out really quick first. Dude, Ilud, thanks for the resub, tier 1, 16 month streak. Thank you so much. Dude, thanks for all you do, and thanks for resubbing and the continued support. Mathny, resub, tier 1, 14 month streak. Man, some long subs. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Mathny, thank you. PC Geek, resub, tier 1, another 16-month streak. Jeez, man. Holy cow, 16 months. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. PC Geek, thank you too for all that you do, and congrats on the new job. Everyone in chat, if you know PC Geek or you don't know him, he just got a new job in IT, and congrats to you, man. Appreciate it. And thanks for all you do, for sure. Dude, XOR, how's it going? Speaking of mods, man, all here. XOR, how's it going, man? Resub, tier 1, 16 months, 9 month streak. Dude, thank you so much. Yo, how's it going, everyone? How's it going, XOR? How are you doing? I know you were taking some time off for the holidays too. Back in action, I guess. Happy New Year. Thanks for all you do. Appreciate it, man. Dude, Ilud gifted 10 tier 1 subs. Dude, thank you so much. So, man, 10 gifted subs. Oh, my goodness. Who are the people who got them? Oh, man. I'm going to go with Betpil Gomista, Little Cross, Kalagar, Exothoric, that's what I'm going. Salamander, Sinith, Panzer Boy, Voronsky, Brandon, PDX, Tox DC, and Archimedes. Enjoy your gifted sub from Ilud. Dude, thank you so much. 10 of them too. Oh man, thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. Takano, resub. Dude, how's it going? Takano, resub, Prime, 17 months. Dude, appreciate it, man. How you doing? Dude, thank you so much. Appreciate it. I noticed now even more so that I do say dude a lot, and people call me out on it all the time. And I don't really realize I'm like, yeah, maybe I say it a lot, but it's such a easy filler word for me. I got a few filler words. Dude is definitely one of them, and I notice I slip it in there all the time. So, dude, appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Takano, man, 17 months. Yeah, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. See, I slipped 2 dudes in there. Joey Locky, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. And dude, I got to get this run right. I'm going to go with I want to get this right. I'm going to go with Gilason. Let me know if it's wrong. I appreciate it. Dude, thank you so much for the subscribe. Tier 1, thank you so much. So I'll get into all the other, there are other activities in the beginning. You know what, I might as well call them out now since I'm looking at this list already. So then I know I'm fully caught up. So real quick, before we started, there were a couple follows. Mame Ja, PHX, High Tech, NR Hub, Justin, Ractor, Master Mai, and Teddy Dafu. Hey guys, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome, man. So how are you guys doing? What are you guys up to? I know you guys know what I've been up to. A whole bunch of nothing, at least according to Twitch. But no, I took some time off. I did some traveling. I went back home. Got to see family. Haven't seen in a long time. It was pretty good. It was really good to actually see everyone. And then just trying to get some of my priorities straight. And it's nothing like I'm doing wrong, just trying to realign to some of the stuff that I want to get done in 2022. Some rebranding, some revamping in here, and just a lot of planning, really. As you guys saw, I think you guys saw, maybe it was, maybe not, but last week I had a video on a Turing Pi 2, so I've been playing with that a lot. Super interesting stuff that you can do with Turing Pi 2. If you don't know what a Turing Pi 2 is, or even the Turing Pi is, it's basically a mini ITX board that you can populate with Raspberry Pi CM4 boards. Or CM4 chips, and those chips allow you to run a Raspberry Pi in each slot. And then it has a backplane and all of this, and a lot of shared hardware, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty awesome idea that you could populate a motherboard with 4 Raspberry Pis, and then you could run a mini cluster, do whatever you want on them. It's pretty awesome. This one also supports NVIDIA Jetsons too, so I've been playing with it a little bit, trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it. I know what I'm going to do with 3 nodes for sure, but the 4th node is kind of up in the air. But if you, they haven't been released yet. They'll be released soon. They gave me one early to test out and try out. Super honored that they picked me along with Jeff Geerling. I was like, oh, that's pretty awesome. But Jeff's got some great content too, as you guys know. Jeff Geerling's awesome. He does awesome stuff. I was just honored to be even like considered in that same tier of people who would get one of these boards first. Jeff Geerling, he actually 3D printed an I/O shield for it too, which is super awesome because I have this short list of things that will make me buy a 3D printer, and now this I/O shield for the Turing Pi 2 is on there. So I think I'll only have about one more thing to where I'm like, okay, it's the tipping scale for a 3D printer. More to come. But yeah, so what are you guys up to? What can I help with? I mentioned earlier that I'm not feeling the greatest, and it's probably not going to cut into the time today. Usually, if you're new here, usually run about roughly an hour stream where we talk about everything that's going on, things that you're working on, things that you're interested in, things that I can help with, maybe things that I've talked about before, or just general sharing and chatting about tech, about home lab, about you name it. So, yeah, let me know in chat what you're working on or what I can help out with, if anything. Yeah, let's get to it. So let's see, lots of chat activity. All right, I tell myself this every time, but today is the day I'm going to clean up some of this spam for my own bot. And I'm going to, yeah, I say this, I've said this almost every week, but I think now it's at the tipping scale where it's doing more harm than good, at least in chat. It just kind of floods it. And maybe I'll do something. If I'm offline, I'll keep it on, and if I'm online, then keep it off. I'll do something. Man, but thank you guys. Hype train, 40%, level 5 hype train. This is like insane. That has to be the highest hype train ever. So thank you, appreciate it. Let's see, Mafney, how's it going? Mafney wasn't here first. Attempt by the moderator to clear chat was ignored. So Mafney actually saw me clear chat, and part of the reason why I was clearing chat is because my bot had some spam from their early follows earlier. Exactly what I was just talking about. So Mafney, how's it going? Good to see you. Deep Dragon, how's it going? Waves to Tim, how's it going? Salvarius, howdy folks, how are you doing? Lots of subs, appreciate it. Mavney, hi, hey. Amelia, hello everyone, how's it going? If you see this banana command, this is the command that I use to check to see if my bot's running. It was inspired by the community. I think Takana was the first one that kept doing it. So one day I slipped it in there and made the banana command actually work. And it's probably a little surprise from man, level 4 hype train. I got it wrong. It was level 4, almost level 5, but I'm going to share that. So I appreciate it, guys. Dude, thank you so much. Hype train is right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Dr. Spray, hi, Tim. Hope you had a good New Year. Yeah, I did. Pretty low key. The actual, New Year's Eve, hung out with some friends, and just had a low key evening. Had dinner, and hung out. Stayed up pretty late, like I normally do, but yeah, it was good. New Year's going good so far. Gonna be revamping some stuff. I wish I could have done it a couple of weeks ago when I had some time off, but I had to do some traveling. So, Dr. Sprite, thank you. Appreciate it. To kind of short one, yeah, Kappa, right? Every time I say short one, it turns into a really long one. But it's gonna be a normal one. How about that? I don't know what happens when I say a normal one. We'll see. XOR, how's it going, everyone? How you doing, XOR? Man, there's all of the gifted subs. Dude, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate it. PC Geek, I thought I asked for a second. It said streak instead. It said steak instead of streak. Yeah. Well, yeah. What would that even say? A steak? Yeah, that would be awesome. I think I'd go for a steak now. I don't eat beef that much, but I think I would. Something. I need to switch something up because I've had this cold for a long time, and I can't kick it. Hopefully you guys are healthy. I mean, I'm healthy. Cold is the least of my worries right now. And that's good. So XR, yeah, man, how's it going? Pound, yeah, fist pound. Thank you so much, Mapney. Happy New Year to you too. Yeah, 2022. This was one of the first years where I'm just like, it's so easy to write 2022. I don't know why. Most years I forget, you know, in the first month, and I'm writing the wrong thing when I signed documents. Not this time. I nailed it on day one. Oh man, let's see. Really quick, Geico, thanks for the follow. Not the other Geico, but this Geico. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Dude, Mike, I got to turn my alerts up a little bit more. Dude, Mike, I'm gonna go with Mike Jax or Mike JCKS. Thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Tier 1 sub. Thank you. Nightwalker, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Jenna Ryan, resub, Tier 1, 14 months. Thank you so much. Dude, Mike, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. And welcome. And then Eddie. Edster, 2309. Thanks for the Prime sub. Thanks for spending your Prime sub on me. Appreciate it. So, yeah, thank you guys. I'll turn my alerts up just a tiny bit so I can hear them in my ear. But yeah, thank you so much. Let's see. Sub hype. Yeah, thank you. Omer. I'm going to go with Omerin. Omerin. That's what I'm going to go with. Hello there. Hope everyone is doing great. How's it going, Tim? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing good. As good as I can be for what's going on. But yes, super good. No complaints. I shouldn't even complain about being sick because it's not that bad. But I rarely get sick, so it's affecting me a lot. Sub hype, yeah, thank you, Takano, thank you. Making the 6th stream worth it, yeah. Yeah, thank you, dude. Appreciate it. I mentioned to the mods like, hey, I don't feel good. I'm still gonna stream because it came up in one of our mod channels. I'm still gonna stream, and you know, I literally was like, make it worth it. I'm like, okay, I gotta do this. Let's see. Mafney, happy New Year to you too. Hi, Gumshoe Noir. Lots of noirs. I like this. Hi, Techno Tim from Halbreck in Mesa, Arizona. Thank you. Hello from Minneapolis, Minnesota. How's it going? Man, you guys, I'm jealous of all weather in Arizona in general. Well, it's either hot and dry or cool and dry, and I like them both. So, how's it going, Gumshoe Noir? Mark for the resub, Tier 1, 12 months, 6 month streak. Dude, Mark, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. First time chat from Mike, Mike. I'm just going to say Mike and just know I'm talking to you until there's 2 mics. I'm working on UDM Pro, IP Fire, and Cisco. Nice, man. That's a lot. That spreads the networking stack right there. Awesome. Are you setting them up? Are you setting up firewall rules? Are you setting up VLANs? Are you setting up VPNs? Probably all the above. Sounds like a good day. You got some decent hardware and good hardware, great hardware, and a couple of great stacks to play with. So hopefully it's going well. Firewall rules, I like doing them. I hate them when they don't work. It's so hard to troubleshoot. But I think I have a decent pattern for mine, so they're working out okay. If not, let me know, because I'm in some deep trouble. First time chat from iCorblin. Hello from Berlin, Germany. Hey, how's it going? Hello from the US. I'm in Minneapolis. But hello, thanks for tuning in. It's probably late there. It's probably, I'm betting 10:30 at night there on Saturday. So thanks for tuning in. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. PC Geek, yeah, first job in IT, and it's going great. Yeah, so I mentioned this earlier, but yeah, PC Geek, he's been trying to break through and getting a job in IT, and he just got one. So yeah, throw it in chat. Tell PC Geek congratulations, man. I'm so happy for you, dude. So excited for you. You'll be running that place soon. Swiss Techno Tom, I like this. Hello from Zurich, Switzerland. Great to hear you back again. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think it was away for like 4 weeks, probably-ish. 3 or 4, don't quote me on it. I think it was 4. 3, I don't know. I'll do the math later, but too long for sure. Central MTK, hey Tim, how's it going? I'm great. Juwan, I gotta get this. Jawal Dal. Naimi. Jawaldo Naimi. I'm going to say that. Hello, Tim. Big hi from Dubai. Hello from the United States. How's it going? PC Geek. Need a code to dude counter. Yeah, I do. Dude, yeah, where you can just tap a button. And I bet I'd hit like 100 dudes in one stream. Because I slip them in. I slip them in between words too. Like I said, it's my most favorite filler word. A lot of people say like. or I say dude. XR, dude, hype who? I like it. I like it. Piece of Geek, yeah, hype low. I like that one too. I like it too. Mike, where's the subscribe in the app? Never used it before. I think you found it. I think you find it. I think it's a little bit hidden. I can't remember like Twitch and Apple and the how they process payments. They were making you go out to the website. Now I think they do it inside. If you do it inside of the app, Apple gets a cut or Google gets a cut. If you do it from the website, they don't. So, that whole App Store commission thing that's been going on since the beginning of time for apps. Yeah. So because of that, a lot of app developers have gotten creative on how they charge you for any kind of purchases. So anyways, I think you found it because I saw you sub, so I appreciate it. Thank you. Gumshoe Noir, I'm planning to implement pfsense sometime in the next couple of months. Awesome, congratulations. I'm using the Asus now, pretty popular routers, yeah, for sure. Moving pfsense config from VM to real hardware. Oh yeah, for sure. Can I back up the VM and restore to real hardware? What do yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. Can I back up the VM and restore to real hardware? I don't know the answer to that. I mean, you could try. I mean, what I would do in that situation is, if it is virtualized and you're moving to physical hardware, or vice versa, either way, if you're going P to V or V to P, I would back up the config, obviously, on that machine, on the source machine. I would install bare metal or just whatever, install, pfsense on the target machine, and then I would restore the config to it. But I would assign, I think your NICs or your interface names to their designated source within pfsense on the target machine first. I don't know if when you restore the config, if it's going to undo some of that. But I have done it before. I've done it with pfsense and I've done it with XCP. My mind slipped me. Sophos XG. I've done them with both, and I've even done it with like Smoothwall and all these before, where I've swapped them around. It can get kind of tricky. And I would recommend when you do this, give yourself some time and don't connect your WAN port right away. Because if they are flip-flopped, you're just gonna run into a nightmare. Either things are too open or too restrictive, or it's a hard-coded IP, and you won't get any internet access at all. So I would say get it working outside of plugging in your WAN first. I don't know if any of that's helpful. I've done it. I haven't done it in a while. Fortunately, when I was virtualizing all of my stuff, it was always virtual. I have moved them between hypervisors before and run into the same thing before. With pfsense, it's easier. But yeah, I mean, depending, your interface names probably will change. But it's just a little bit of mapping you'll have to change. But anyways, can you restore virtual to bare metal or vice versa? You might be able to. I don't know if I'd do that. I'd run a backup and back up the config and apply it. But that's just me. Just because you might run into small quirks. But I could be wrong. Let's see. PC Geek, thank you. Thanks for the help on that. Deep Dragon, I moved my entire server rack up from the basement and out to a detached shed yesterday. All right, he shed. So Homeland Shed, I like it. So I'm kind of dead. But the noise down equals better sleep. So that's nice. So you're kind of dead because you're exhausted. Yeah, it's a ton of work. Real quick, Steven, Noor, Savior. Dude, thanks for the resub Prime 2 months. Hello. How's it going? Thank you so much, Steven. Appreciate it. Jippy, thanks for a follow. Appreciate it. But yeah, I totally agree. I've moved my home lab a few times, and it's just a ton of work. But if you're moving it from the basement to outdoors, that's upstairs, that's everything. That's a lot of work too. I dread the day when I have to either disassemble my rack or we move homes, because then it's I'm gonna have to disassemble the whole thing, or get a crane to lift 500 pounds of gear to try to get it out the door. Without taking it all apart. I don't think that's an option, but that's probably the way I'd try first, just because it's a ton of work disassembling a server rack and putting it back together. It's probably the right way to do it, but I'd go for the harder way first, to try to save time. But you know how that goes. But yeah, moving it outside is pretty awesome. So less noise. You do or don't have to worry about heat, depending on how that shed is heated or cooled or not at all. So pretty awesome. At least it won't affect your bills, at least your heating and cooling bill at all if it's somewhere outside. So yeah, awesome. Sounds like a ton of work though. Danny Dangles, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Let's see. First time chat. Hey, thank you so much for chatting for the first time. I'm gonna go with Geese Layson. Geese. Oh yeah. Thank you for trying to spell it phonetically. Gis Lasan. That's what I'm going. Gis Lasan. I got it. Or is it Lasan or Lasan? I'm gonna go with Lasan or Son. Anyways, don't worry. People have a hard time pronouncing it since 1630. First time here, love your videos. I'm gonna go with Gislason. Hey, thanks for helping me pronounce it phonetically. I'm still probably butchering it, so I appreciate it. So thank you so much. And thanks for the subs. First time chat, yes. All right, Nightwalker. Any decent external temperature monitoring system do you recommend? I want to monitor my server closet. It depends. It depends on what ecosystem you're in, right? Or may not. So yeah, where do I begin? There are lots of monitors out there that can do this, just monitor temperature, but it really boils down to what ecosystem are you in. If you are in an ecosystem like Apple or Hue or Google Home, obviously a lot of those devices can be used in those ecosystems. You have a ton of options. And then if you're using Home Assistant, you almost have unlimited options because everyone has a way to connect something to Home Assistant. I'll only speak about the things that I know. I do use a lot of Philips Hue stuff. And even if you do or don't, Philips Hue has a motion sensor that has built-in temperature sensor too, which is pretty awesome. It's a pretty good deal. Has batteries and it connects to everything. And that's how I monitor my server room temperature. It actually displays up here all the time, and I have like a green ghost appear. I don't know why a ghost, but like a green Pac-Man ghost if things are good. Blue if it's like really cold down there, and then orangish red if it's on the warmer side. I've yet to see it red. We'll see this summer. I got to figure that out. Anyways, long story short, the only one that I have experience with is a Philips Hue motion sensor that also has a temperature sensor. And if you're not using Philips Hue, then yeah, I would look for something else. But I might be able to give you some recommendations. Ping me in Discord, but that's the only one that I've ever used. I mean, obviously my thermostats have temperature monitoring built in, but I'm not using that for anything other than the thermostat knowing what the temperature is in the house to be able to adjust the climate in here. But like I said, the cool thing is if you are using Hue and you have a Hue hub and you do use those motion sensors with temperature, you also get the motion sensor piece, which is pretty cool because in my server rack, as soon as I walk in the room, it turns the lights on for me. So I'm like, okay, never have to touch the light switch again. And then if I leave the room and within 5 minutes of no activity, it turns them back off. So I never have to turn. I never have to hit a button. getting way lazy. Why? But I specifically chose that because it was a 2-for-1. I could get motion sensors plus temperature sensor. Yeah. So I'll look for maybe none or less ones that are like agnostic of ecosystem and maybe standalone. But I'm sure there are plenty out there. Smart Things probably has a ton of them. I bet there are lots of great ones. But I should look. I should find some alternatives too. Ethan, AOE. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Takano, anyone have experience decompiling an APK? I have. Try to figure out how API. Oh man, you're reverse engineering some apps in Android. I like it. I know this well. So let me start from the beginning. Got ahead of myself. Anyone know or have experience decompiling an APK? If you don't know, an APK is a package for an Android application. He's trying to figure out how API calls work for Samsung eSmart refrigerator app. Can use HTTP. Oh yeah, man in the middle as it connects to the fridge as an access point. It's just plain isn't working due to the age of compatibility issues with newer Android versions. Man, you sound like you're an app developer right now, because I've done a lot of this. Real quick, Knock Team, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. So Takano, I've done exactly what you've done. I've done it tons of times. I haven't necessarily needed the APK though, and I have used HTTP MITM, so man in the middle. So I think it's HTTP MITM. Man in the middle, it basically acts like a proxy, like Charles or any kind of other proxy that you have on your machine. You install a trusted certificate on your mobile device, and then you can decrypt all SSL traffic, and then use the man in the middle proxy to see what is going through your phone or going through that app, so you can reverse engineer the API calls. Man, you are on your way to becoming an app developer. I've done a ton of this. So I haven't had any problems in particular. I have decompiled an APK, but I think you're going down the right path from what you mentioned first. I would try to sniff the traffic using like man in the middle or Charles proxy if you're on a Mac, or even man in the middle web if you're on a Mac or Windows, because that's the way that I've always gotten it to work. You install a trusted cert, like I said. You trust that cert as root, and then you can decrypt all traffic going out from your phone. Then you launch the app and you make whatever actions you want to see, and then you can see the API calls along with all the headers and tokens and everything that they're doing, in hopes that you can reverse engineer some of that. Yeah, that's the way I go. I think you're going the right way. I have decompiled an APK, but lots of times with APKs, Android app APKs, they should be, most apps in general, they obfuscate all of the code. So if you're hoping that you can look at the code to glean some kind of information, most of it is going to be obfuscated. I mean, you might get some, API or access tokens or API keys out of there, or you might get like what actual endpoints they're calling, but everything else will be totally obfuscated and minified to where you just really don't know what's going on. I can almost guarantee that, someone like Samsung would be obfuscating those APKs, because even, it's just part of what you do, knowing that your code's going to be on devices. You want to kind of mask your code and obfuscate it. I think it just said obfuscate at least 10 times right there. But I think you're going down the right path. If you need help with man in the middle and setting that up, yeah, ping me in Discord, because I've done a ton of it. Corbin, I set up my first Proxmox after seeing your videos. Thanks for the good work. Hey, thanks. Thank you so much. Welcome to Proxmox. Welcome to virtualization. Maybe you're doing virtualization before, but welcome. Now the real fun begins. Now you can start virtualizing stuff, maybe containerizing stuff, maybe self-hosting stuff. So super duper fun, super fun. Thank you. Let's see. Thank you. Welcome. Takano, I did a port scan on the fridge. It has HTTPS open, but it uses a custom. Oh yeah. So, okay. Uses a custom. Yeah, you are totally. I know the path you're going down. It uses a custom client cert to connect, as I can't connect through Chrome without SSL compatibility issues. And in the APK, there are two certs, a server and a client cert. Yeah, dude, you got it. So that's another thing that's another way that services protect themselves, is that, when you make connections to their service, they'll actually check the whole entire cert chain to see if one of their certificates are actually in that chain, and only those certificates in that chain. And so that's yet another step that services take. A lot of services that run apps, they protect themselves by verifying that cert chain, and verifying that chain, all the way down the tree is exactly what it should be, and there aren't any additional certificates in there. So I think you're running into the next problem. See, I mean, Samsung knows what they're doing. They know what they're doing. If it was my app, maybe not. But yeah, Samsung, they're taking all of the right steps. But there might still be hope. Joey, hey, thanks for the first time chat. Joey Lockey, I'm currently trying to find a good FTT. I assume that was if this then that. I can run locally, maybe on a Pi, so I can automate as much as I can, server deploy and website automation. Yeah, that is awesome. I think a lot of people are looking for home automation alternatives, or automation alternatives that are self-hosted at home. that are alternatives to if this and that. And there are some good ones out there. A lot of people use Node-RED for a lot of things. I haven't personally, but there are some other, if this then that, like self-hosted options out there. I should brush up on them and pull something out of my backlog that I've had there for a while. But if you find a good one, let me know. In general, I write code to do that stuff. It's a lot more complicated, and I could probably save myself a ton of time by doing, something like you're mentioning, is just self-hosting some automation platform, especially like Node-RED or something like that. But I enjoy writing the code, so I don't know. But anyways, I know not everyone is or wants to be a developer, and this is where this would help out. So yeah, I need to add some notes to my item in my backlog on videos to do. Salvarius, what can you help me out? What can you help me with? Do you have one of those Neuralink things from the Matrix where I could insta learn Ansible? I don't. Unfortunately, I don't. I'll say this. I have a video that's not the greatest on Ansible, but it's very high level, but very tactical and pragmatic about why I wanted to learn Ansible and what I wanted to do with it. And that's what I still follow today. Jeff Geerling has tons of stuff on Ansible. There's lots of great stuff out there. And so, I would obviously look at one of their videos before mine. But like I was saying, before I even did anything with Ansible, I wanted to learn a couple things, like what is it? How do I get it installed? And how can I use it? And, within, a couple of hours, I was able to kind of understand what it is, get things set up, prepare my environment for some stuff, for SSH keys and stuff I needed to do, obviously. And then I was able to automate quite a bit with Ansible. Like I have update scripts now. I have Pi-hole update scripts. I have, you name it, reboot scripts, K3s update scripts, a lot of updating, even reset password scripts. So playbooks, I should say, not scripts. So if you're having trouble, either check out my video or look at something from Jeff Geerling or YouTube or something like that. And just take it easy. I would take one task. What's one task you want to do with Ansible? Maybe you want to update all of your Linux servers. That's a pretty straightforward one. And there's an end in sight, and so you could get Ansible installed, make sure, you can connect to all these machines through Ansible with SSH, and then make sure you can run an apt command if you're running a Debian based distribution like Ubuntu. And then once you go from there, you're like, okay, cool, automated that. What's next? Maybe I want to reboot all my machines after they're done. And so you can just build on that, and you can build on that. The cool thing is once you get a lot of playbooks together, then you can start chaining them together, and it's super fun because then you just like kick off one command and you just watch it for 5 minutes. I don't think you save that much time if you watch the automation run, but I usually do. So you'll lose a little bit of that. A little bit of that CI by just watching your savings and continuous improvement if you watch the task happen. But I love doing it. But a lot of times I just kick it off on the side and keep working, and I come back and all my servers are up to date and ready to go. So, Busy Geek, how about winning lottery numbers? Yeah, for sure. Hook me up. Let me know. Danny Dangles, yeah, try Home Assistant. Totally agree. If you want something platform agnostic, where there's a will, there's a way with Home Assistant. Absolutely, for sure. Ilude, Huggin, Noddard, N8N are some self-hosted alternatives. Thank you. I need to. Oh, Noddard. What? Node-RED. I was talking about Node-RED earlier. Oh, I feel like I just had an Anchorman moment where I just read anything I see on the screen. Be careful, guys. Knock Team, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Arousing, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Noddard, what? Anyways, so thanks, Ilude. Appreciate that. Jippy78. Hey, Techno Tim from Paris. Hey, how's it going? Hello from the US. Mike, I upgraded the UDM Pro and 28 PoE after watching your new setup. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Well, I'm sorry, or yes. Yeah, that's awesome. I too have a 24 port PoE switch. I love it. I still think there's another switch in my future here soon. Probably more PoE. If I could do it all over again, plug your ears. If I could do it all over again, I get the 48 port, but that's mainly because like I just don't want to think like, is this PoE? This isn't PoE. This is PoE, and maybe I'm overbuying, but I just don't want to have a mental model of like, you know, running cables to one specific switch because they need PoE. I'd rather just say, yeah, all my ports are PoE. You know, plug them in if you want, but I'm probably overbuying at that point. Apologize for the. Let me grab a drink real quick. Oh, I can feel the congestion coming back. Oh, well, let's get to it. Piece of choo-choo, yeah. Gumshoe. Gumshoe Noir. One thing I accomplished in December was renaming and joining 2 servers into a Proxmox server. Awesome. I had to back up several VM containers, remove and change names, create cluster, restore. Pro tip. Do your name and cluster first. Awesome. Yeah, awesome. I've done it a few times. I have something like that coming soon too. So I'm gonna add another machine to my Proxmox cluster, probably here real soon. So awesome. I'm gonna have to brush up on how to do that again, but super fun. But I'll be doing the same thing. Taking all of the nodes that are running on this Proxmox machine, backing them up, shutting them down, bringing my new machine up, joining it to my cluster, and then restoring them to their. I don't have HA, so I can't do like a migration or a vMotion as they would call it in ESXi. But good enough for me. But awesome, congratulations. Medtrala, hey Techno Tim, happy New Year to you too. Thank you, I appreciate it. I feel like I've only told a very few people Happy New Year, so but I appreciate it. Thank you. Joey Locky, thanks. We'll look at them. Ilud and Danny, yes, awesome. I gotta make sure I'm not skipping. I'm not. Hello from Argentina, JM Goody. Now I'm setting up PC with Proxmox 7. Following your checklist, thank you. Awesome, thank you so much. I'm still blown away that that's my #1 video. I mean, I'm not, but that was a creeper, and I know exactly why it happened. So I have this video that's like first 11 things I do on Proxmox. I think it's 11 things, and it's just like my basically checklist, thinking out loud. And that video is just like blown up. That's like my #1 ever, and I know why it was. I kind of know why it was. Some things I planned, but some things were unplanned. Like Network Chuck did a video on it, and ever since then, it's just been like soaring. So thanks, Network Chuck. Appreciate it, man. Jippy, can you share your labels and settings for Nextcloud? Oh, some lights turned on. I know why lights turned on. Someone's in my server room right now. So you know what I said I had? So you know when I said I had automation of my lights turning on when there's motion in my server room? Well, one of my lights from my server room is up here because I'm filming something and I need some additional lights, and that's still connected. So that totally turned on. So, It's got to be my wife. She's probably going down there and plugging this stuff, saying this stuff is way too noisy. No, it's very sensitive. It's very sensitive. If you even walk close to that, which is kind of by our laundry, it turns on. So, anyways, I got some accent lighting over here. Let's see. Can you share your labels and settings for your Nextcloud traffic? Oh yeah, with wildcard certificates. Sure. I might have them shared already. Check out my repo on GitHub. Check out my repo on GitHub. I might have them already in one of the traffic examples because I have a long list of my traffic config along with some examples. But if I don't, yeah, sure, I'll share them and I'll add them to that repo so you can get to them. Thank you, Discord, for the Discord promo. Appreciate it. Mike JKS. KS is short for my domain. All right, I like it. Mike JC KS. Got it. Clear code. I wish that worked. I wish it worked. Let's see. Edster, thank you. First time chat. Hey, first stream I could catch, but I'm from Australia and just got started with a free HP ProDesk I got. Currently messing with Docker. Awesome. You're off to a great start. Got a secondary machine you can run some stuff on and getting right into Docker. I love it. Mike, I'm going with Mike. Setting up separate nets with a fiber gateway. Awesome. This is serious business now. Awesome. Gumshoe Noir. Halbrek is my secret code for my Twitter handle that may be more recognizable than my Twitch handle. All right, J Halbrek. All right, awesome. I like it. Thank you. Mike, using Cisco to separate the line coming in from the fiber gateway, set VLANs and trunk ports. Oh, this sounds perfect. Sounds perfect. Sounds perfect. Because some people don't like to do some things on UDM. Some things are better than others when it comes to your gateway or your firewall. Some people still use it for all different things. But yeah, awesome. Let's see. Moonbase, hey, thanks for chatting. How are you today? Hello. I Corbin. I gotta get it. I'm going with I Corbin. Yeah, it's 2:20. So it's 10:25 in Germany, but it's okay. Oh, I did nail it then. I got it. It was 6 hours or 7 hours ahead of me. 7 hours ahead of Chicago time. Mike gave up on UDM Pro public IP with IPFire. IPFire handles biz network with 5-node Proxmox HA, UDM Pro for a home network with 2 nodes Proxmox. I like it. I know exactly where you're going now. You're just splitting them right before that. Awesome. Clanktron, is there any reason you run your K3S clusters on VMs over LXCs or just personal preference? It is personal preference. So yeah, good question. So I could run K3S on LXC containers, lightweight Linux containers, something like turnkey Linux. I think a lot of people use it in here. I could, but it's just personal preference. Only because I'll just go with personal preference. I've done a ton of Ubuntu stuff. I'm sure LXC and turnkey Linux or anything like that would work very similarly. But for me, it's just preference. And maybe it's what I'm comfortable with too. I've done a lot of VM stuff. I know how it works. I know how to move them around. I know how to back them up. I know, all this knowledge that I've had about them. Maybe I should be using LXC. It's a good question. But it's probably old ways. I'll just go with that. But it is personal preference. And if you can get it working in LXC and you want to use LXC, lightweight Linux containers, absolutely go for it. 100%. You'll save disk, you'll save processing, you'll save a ton in resources. I'll just say that. Containers and containers, that hurts my brains. Yeah, it is, but they're slightly different containers, they're slightly different containers. Think of LXC like lightweight Linux, where, it's just lightweight Linux. Think of it like that. But it definitely is. K3S doesn't run well in LXC. Well, there you go. PC Geek, he's tried it out a couple of times. He's got quite a bit running in LXC. I think he runs Docker in LXC too. But maybe K3S is the one. I remember there was a lot of struggling way back, maybe about a year ago, when I think people were trying to. But where there's a will, there's a way. Maybe it's gotten better. Mike, you can do that with IPFire, and you can use the backup config with the pfsense. Yes. Oh, nice. Yes, you will have to reset your Macs. Thank you. So this is going back to, hey, I want to do a P2V, physical to virtual pfsense, or V2P. P2V or V2P, one way or the other. But thank you for that. Credible Hulk, hi, I'd like to share parts of the kernel that you're already sharing with the host machine. I can only imagine that would cause some weird bugs. Yeah. Good point. Spydo, first time chat. Thank you. Sup, Techno Tim, first time chatter. Thanks for being awesome. Thanks for the awesome videos. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for enjoying them. They wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for you guys. So I appreciate it. I'm glad you guys enjoy them. I'm gonna keep doing them. Got some things coming, little changes. A lot of things I've been planning while I was away. I had a lot of time to think about some things I want to do moving forward. So hopefully they're good. But we'll see. Mike, I would whiteboard everything before switching from a VM to metal. Yeah, that's true too. Or you just don't delete the VM, so you can always go back to it, right? You don't have to delete the virtual machine, So yeah, totally whiteboard, document stuff, back stuff up, even take a snapshot of that VM and hold on to it for a long time. But that's the great thing about VMs. You're not replacing anything. You're moving to physical, so just keep it around. Keep it around for a while. I had I still have some of my VMs around for a while, and I'm just like, maybe one day I'll use it again, but I think, I don't know, a week or two ago, I was just like, I axed everything. But I had VMs sitting that were just off for, 5-6 months approximately. It wasn't hurting me. I have tons of storage. So I'm like, whatever, 10, 15, 20 gigs of space isn't costing me, too much in my TrueNAS versus the 10 to 15 hours it would take me to restore, to build this thing from scratch. So, but that's the nice thing about virtualization. Mike, read that. Salvarius, back up the pfsense config, save it to the thumb drive, and you will install it from, if I recall correctly, in a folder, the root called config. When you install pfsense, pull your config in. There you go. Awesome. Great tip. Smakes, hello from Portland, Oregon. All right, how's it going? I'm in my first week of university of computer science classes. Awesome. Almost ready for upper division. All right. No fun projects other than coding completely in Vim. Ooh, that's gotta be tough. There's like people who can develop and write software and only in Vim. That's like next level stuff. Me, I've been spoiled, and I've been using VS Code or IntelliJ or Visual Studio before that, or some other editor where I get lots of IntelliSense and lots of help. So I'm jealous of the people that can do everything in Vim, especially write software in Vim, because there's a lot of hopping around in software. It's one thing to edit some configs, but it's another thing to just crank stuff out and write lots of software inside of folders inside of an editor like that. So. Yeah, you're next level. Mike, Salvarius plus. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Salvarius, for chiming in on the pfsense help. PC Geek, I think you just have to reassign the NICs, but it will probably prompt you to do so on the reboot. Yeah, good call. Or maybe from the web UI before you reboot, activate the restore config. Not sure. Thank you guys. You will have to do some assignment at the interfaces at the console. Thank you. Yeah, because that's the part where I remember it getting weird. But if you can do it at the console, you prevent a whole host of trying to get into the UI on an IP that you might not be able to get into depending on firewall rules and what gets assigned where. So yeah, good call, guys. Good call. Let's see. Sorry if I'm making sure. Steven, Xavier, hello. I work for an MSP and had a client who had their building hit by a car. Ooh, had to move them to one side of the parking lot to another. It was not fun. Yeah, that does not sound fun. Moving just in general. And then back post-construction. Man, that's a lot of moving around server racks and stuff like that. I mean, if they're on wheels and you can kind of get them going, yeah, that's different. But yeah, unracking stuff from a data center, putting it on carts, moving it out, and then moving it somewhere else, and re-racking and rerunning cables only to do it again does not sound fun. But then again, some days I love to do that for a day because it's just different pace for sure. Let's see. PC Geek, my work has an extra rack and they're using it as a storage cabinet. Yeah, right. And by storage, you mean files. And by files, I mean like physical stuff, not like virtual. I know what you mean. You don't mean like disk storage. You just mean like mop and broom storage. Oh, that's awesome. Salvarius, most IT closets I work in also act as storage areas. Yeah, I think that's why the whole network closet exists, that name, right? Because they were like, we need to put this network equipment somewhere. Let's put it in that closet over there. And so the closet now becomes the network closet instead of just like, hey, this is the very important telco. Oh, some people call it telco closets too. Sorry. But yeah, I think that's how the name got coined for sure. For sure. I remember some of ours too. It's just like, I worked at this one place where it was like part of the elevator shaft was in the back and you can kind of see down. But they needed network closets on every floor, and there was extra space, I think, next to the elevator shaft. So why not? Sounds great. Yeah, it's interesting. If you see old buildings with space for servers and networking equipment before, buildings were designed to have a dedicated space for it. People get creative. I like it. I like it. Let's see. Of course, also the current IT guy likes to work out of that room. Maybe he likes the warmth. Oh, all right. Yeah, I wouldn't. I like to work in our data center at this one place I work because it was the opposite. It was actually cold and windy and, just a bunch of white noise. I was like, this is great. Just air coming from all directions. I'm kind of warm. Just open my shirt and, shirt's filled with air. Fantastic. Not the warm weather, though. It'd put me to sleep. Mike, the little weather monitor stations they have for Wi-Fi are great. Yeah, good call. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Now that you say this, I thought it was for outdoor. I thought you mentioned in there it was for outdoor use. And now I realized that I might have been going on and on about indoor ones. So, Mike, thanks for that suggestion. If it's outdoor ones, I've never done outdoor ones. I'd love to at some point. Sorry, I got to do this real quick. Oh, okay. Super Double A. Let's see. Super Double A. I had fun tinkering around with some Home Assistant. Yeah, not all smart devices are created equal, of course. Yeah, I agree. I agree. And not all plugins for Home Assistant are created equal either. And it's not the fault of Home Assistant or any of the contributors there. It's the fault of the hardware piece that requires something weird. And like I said, I call Home Assistant where there's a will, there's a way, because they figure out ways to integrate with anything. If there's any kind of port open or any traffic they can sniff or some way to communicate with this device, people will figure it out. And that's why I love Home Assistant so much. Just the, the the gumption and just like, the persistence on trying to figure out how to communicate with these devices. It's fantastic. Monitors, Mike, monitors humidity, temp, and pressure. That's perfect. That's perfect. Perfect. Piece of Geek. Oh, nice time to set up one with Grafana. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's totally. Let's see. Did someone say Discord? Thank you, Ilud. Appreciate it. Kusair. Hey, how's it going? Moonbase. I'm working on a 90s style chat application in C# and SQL. Development is going smoothly, and I hope to make it better as time goes on. Thinking about how I'm gonna host the server, though. I love though. I think I can figure it out. So, let's see. 90 style chat application in C# and SQL. Okay, so I probably use some kind of .NET Core container. If you're doing it in C#, yeah, it's a chat style application, so it doesn't really need a front end. It's just a service, so maybe a .NET Core container that can run C# and whatever libraries you've imported into it, and that's going to run your service. And then a SQL container. I assume it's going to be Microsoft SQL. Maybe not. Maybe it's going to be MySQL or Postgres or something else. Then I would use a SQL container for that, and then establish communication between the two. And then I assume if it's a chat style application, people are going to be connecting via webhook or something, or some way to tunnel into this service or connect to this service. You either have to expose some stuff or, you're going to have to expose some stuff to get connected to it. But anyways, if you don't want to containerize it, you could do that with virtual machines. If you don't want to do any of that, you could probably put it in the cloud too, and then totally wipe your hands of all the things that could happen. But you got to figure out how to get your code there. So you got to figure out if you're going to have a CI/CD pipeline to deploy code to somewhere, or you're just going to, pull it down through Git or however you're using source control and compile it there and run it. All good and acceptable answers. But as you get further along, you'll definitely want some automation, and you'll definitely want to figure out what platform you're going to be targeting too. And when I say platform, I just mean like, are you going to be targeting a virtual machine? Are you going to be targeting a container? Are you going to be, targeting Kubernetes? Are you going to be targeting cloud? Because that will affect how you build and deploy your code. But yeah, sounds super fun. Sounds like IRC or something like that. Sounds like chat, Twitch chat. Let's see. Salvera's Discord sounds like a Kakafana. I got to learn how to pronounce that word. I don't know that word. I got to look that up. I'm copying this for later. Notes. All right. Salvera's, I need to work on my vocab, but dude, hopefully that means awesome. That's what we're going for. I doubt it is. Ilud, if you never joined a Discord server, ours is a great place to start. All friendliness of the stream plus more memes. Yeah, there are definitely more memes, and a lot of people in there who are very smart and very passionate about stuff. A lot of people in there are a lot smarter than I am at a lot more things. But the nice part is you just have this huge collective knowledge of a lot of people who are like-minded, who are interested in the same thing, who are passionate about a lot of different things. And I learn something in there, every day. Lurk a ton. But yeah, totally agree. Moonbase, RFC. I got to get this. We'll see. Hacker Talk, yeah, totally. Don't be afraid to come check things out. Everyone is super helpful and friendly. I totally agree. Steven, Savior, loving the stream so far. Your energy is unmatched. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's, thank you. I appreciate it. This is how I am like in real life, it's hard to get this to come through in YouTube because I'm a tech person, but this is how I am in real life. If you meet me, this is how I am. I mean, I have a little more energy now than normal. I promise I'm not always this like bouncing off the walls, but for the most part, this is me. YouTube, it's a little bit harder because I'm like, teaching. There's a camera right here that I'm just staring at. I don't have any feedback. I don't have like content or chat being fed to me. So yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. We have a wiki now too. Yeah, we do. Worth mentioning. A lot of people in our community had mentioned that they would love to, for me, I think, to host a wiki that everyone can contribute to. And so, yeah, PC Geek posted it right there. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. And so we created a community wiki that anyone who really wants to can contribute to. So let's try this out. Let's do this. Because a lot of questions get asked, or like I said, there's a lot of people with a lot of knowledge. And if you're an expert in this one thing and you just happen to miss that piece of chat, then that knowledge is I don't want to say gone. It's lost in search, which no one ever does, and arguably shouldn't have to. So now we put together this community wiki, and people are starting to contribute things, and we're just going to see where this goes. Just one big experiment, but it's pretty awesome. Self-hosted. I got it all set up. I figured out the tech stack, the authentication, the TLS certificates, persistent storage, running in Kubernetes, S3, Postgres, database, backends, backups, snapshots, you name it. I enterprised the heck out of it. And I didn't let people know until it was totally enterprise ready. But, as enterprise as this open source wiki can be. But pretty fun. It's fun so far. Need to add a command for that, Tim? Yeah, for sure, I will. By the way, shout out to the Discord mods. Y'all have been so cool and helpful in the past month. Heck yeah, they have. They've been so helpful and so cool for the past 2 years, a year and a half. They really have been. They've done a ton. They bear the brunt of a lot of questions. They have a ton of collective knowledge and a ton of passion for things that we're interested in. I say this all the time, but I got super lucky on the community as well as the mods that are in my Discord. It's super, super fantastic. So I appreciate it. You look like Jack Sparrow. Fahedo. I'm going to Fahad. Wow. I get that a lot, especially on YouTube. YouTube, it rarely happens in Twitch. I don't know if people are just afraid to say it, but YouTube all the time. I'd say about 5% of my comments are, you look like Johnny Depp or you look like Jack Sparrow, which is Johnny Depp. So that I can roll those into one. But quite a bit. So appreciate it. I think that's a good thing. I'll take it. It's better than other things, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. Moonbase, Salvaris, not really. I'm just using WebSockets. All right, talked about WebSockets. All right. Johnny Depp. Yeah, it does get it a lot for sure. Incredible Hulk. I've also used PC AP Droid to grab data. Oh, all right, some other apps to grab data. I like it. Yeah, IRC. That's what I was talking about too. Awesome. I'm gonna hop down here. RFC request. Oh yeah, RFC. Okay. Defines various protocols used across the internet. Absolutely. Not REST and not web, so RFC. Ticano, the issue I have with the HTTP man in the middle is that it requires it to be connected to a network with a PC also running to see the request. To see the request, the app, though, will disconnect from you from the network and connect to the smart fridges on the network. This is used to pair the fridge to your Wi-Fi network, and from there, so it lets you connect the fridge to control the temperature. I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. Because I'm used to doing this for web dev stuff, and so I see exactly what you're talking about. But the way that I've generally done it, like you said, it's probably going to disconnect you. But generally, I run man in the middle. Yeah, generally, I mean, I could tell you how I do it in Discord. You're probably already doing it, but generally, like I said, install the certificate on the device with the app on the device. Run man in the middle web on my machine, my dev machine. Start it up, spin up the proxy. Then I tell my Android device or whatever iOS device that, hey, my proxy is now this machine, my dev machine, and then proxy all of those calls through this machine, then to the device. But I think you mentioned earlier about certificates that, my dog's in here. He's freaking out. Let me grab him real quick. I think you mentioned earlier that certificates, there's a problem with certificates. So anyways, let me grab my dog real quick. You guys have seen him before. Puppy, what are you doing? Wait, there's a party in here? All right, Nano's in here. I don't even know how he got in here. He's whining. Hey, puppy. Anyways, but yeah, so yeah, like I mentioned, there are certificates in the way. So let's talk about it in Discord because this sounds super interesting. Like I said, I've done a ton of this stuff before too, for sure. Mr. Schnell, Home Assistant with Node-RED. Yeah, for sure. Node-RED is, people love it. It's a great tool, Clanktron, I noticed you use your Twitter profile pic as your Little Link instance. I decided to do the same, but wondered if you had an automated way for an update when it changes, or do you just do it manually? All right. So you're using Little Link. So Little Link is this thing I hate to say I created, but I forked or borrowed from another open source project and then created a container for it. Anyways, it's basically a big profile pic, kind of like and link in bio and all these other types of single link aggregators. But your question is, you wondered if I automated some way to update it when it changes, or do I just do it manually? So if you're pointing Little Link to your Twitter profile, it should update automatically. So as you update I see. Maybe, yeah, because I think Twitter keeps versions of your profile pic, maybe not. So if they don't keep versions of your profile pic, that link to your profile pic should change. If you change it on Twitter, some amount of time should pass. Twitter probably has tons of caching going on, but some amount of time should pass, and then people who use Little Link should see your new profile pic. If not, if Twitter does keep your old profile pic in some secret deep link, obfuscated link, and they keep it around for a while, then yeah, you'd have to update it yourself, which is unfortunate. But yeah, that should work. I think that Twitter, like a deep link to your profile pic, should always be the most recent one. But like I said, there might be caching and stuff like that. Techno Tim doesn't have the matrix foo. It's still worth learning Ansible the hard way. Yeah, it is. It is, because you can do some fun stuff with it for sure. What are you doing, puppy? You want something to say? Something? You got something to say? No. He's yeah. So this is Nano. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's just like a big, I don't know. I call him Betsy sometimes because he has cow spots on him, and he does his, it doesn't moo, but he does a lot of groaning and making noises like he just was. So it's pretty funny. Let's see, Techno Tim, have you ever personally used Net Server? It's an OS built off CentOS that offers a suite of tools: gateway, DHCP, firewalls, reverse proxies, email, IPS, etc. I personally been using it for years, but wanted to know if you had any take on it or if you used it yourself. Net Server, I have not. This sounds really familiar. It sounds like Clark Connect. So Clark Connect, which I think got rebranded and renamed into something else, which is probably around still. But the idea is that it's basically like a small business server. So similar to Microsoft even did this too. They had Microsoft Small Business Server, where it was like everything in one: gateway, DHCP, firewall, reverse proxies, email, IPS, and update management, and you name it. Have I ever used it? No, I mean, I test drive. So I haven't used Net Server specifically. I've used things like that before in the past. And they were great. Like, I used Microsoft Small Business Server for a long time because I could run a domain at home, and I can also run I think a mail server and a file server, like all in one. Like, they're great for all in ones. And very similar to like Open Media Vault or what NASs are trying to do. This is doing something very similar, except for they're actually being your gateway and your router too. So super interesting. Now, I haven't done it. I might have to check it out. Okay, guys, I am over. I just want to look. I'm going to look real quick for mentions. I think I'm closer to the end, but I want to make sure that I don't skip over anyone who had something specifically. Regarding Ansible, Technotim, have you looked at deploying open source version of AWX? It works in Kubernetes. I have, and it's in my backlog. I need to do it. The way that I have my networks kind of set up right now, things are a little bit segmented to where, yeah, I don't want to give the keys to the kingdom to anything inside of Kubernetes, so I gotta figure out a better pattern for that. Just because I run public workloads, in there, and it's kind of like, yeah, I know things are generally safe, but I just need to figure out a good pattern for it, for sure, for Kubernetes. But no, I'm totally aware it's in my backlog, and I know the documentation that they have out there is kind of hard to follow, so I probably should. Gumshoe, Learn Linux TV on YouTube has some good Ansible videos. Yeah, Jeff Geerling and LTT to reinforce. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Learn Linux TV absolutely has some great stuff there. Geerling does too. He wrote a book on it. Yeah, for sure. And LTT to reinforce. I like it. I like it. All right. I'm going to look for mentions because, like I said, I'm a little bit over, so I apologize if I'm skipping over people. Why do you prefer Techno Tim, why do you prefer to out your TrueNAS in a VM? Oh, why run? I assume that means. Why do I prefer to run my TrueNAS in a VM? Only because of, for most of the reasons I run virtual machines, I don't have to have specific hardware. That one's kind of an exception because I do pass through my HBA card, which connects to a disk shelf. But I don't have to have a separate power supply. I don't have to have a separate network, NICs. I don't have to worry about, faulty power or any of that. I don't have to have another 2U or 4U in my rack for it to have a dedicated machine, and another machine running all the time. And it allows me to experiment and change things in the future. Not that I'm going to, but if I want to go to TrueNAS scale, which I'm going to, this is a perfect use case for it. I could spin up another VM and restore the config to that VM. Someone's in the server room again, and then test it out. If I don't like it, I just go right back to the VM that's there. I mean, obviously you could do this with bare metal too. And so I found that there were a lot of pros to it. Just like I used to, virtualize my network firewall. The same with my NAS. But there are a lot of cons to it too. I talk about this a lot, but virtualizing something means that when your host machine goes down, all the guests go down. So when I reboot my host machine, my storage server is offline. Not ideal. But it's, one of the cons, one of the things that I've accepted as like, okay, this is part of virtualization. So there are a handful of things like that. But, so far I virtualized my NAS. I haven't regretted it yet. There are very few times when I have, and the only thing, the only reasons why I have regretted it is just that downtime. Now my downtime for my server is totally centered around when my NAS needs to go down. But I mean, I would kind of have that anyways. Even if it wasn't virtualized, if I take my NAS down, a lot of my virtual machines depend on my storage server to be there. So so far I'm okay with it. I've considered running a dedicated piece of hardware just for TrueNAS, but I can't justify spending that money and building out another machine to do that just yet. Plus, I got limited space in my rack. I think after this Turing Pi 2U, I'm down to 1U. So I got to figure some stuff out. I don't know. All right, gonna look for mentions because, like I said, I'm going over a little bit, and somehow I'm trying to scroll. I get a dog in my arm. He's kind of moaning and groaning. But Teddy DeFoo, the first time chat will read. Make sure you're also wearing your ear pro. Tonight is no joke. Yeah, for sure. Bought a Unify PAC Pro 6. All right, Snuffle. Awesome. All right, gonna look for mentions. All right. I think the lights are not working. Oh, thank you. I got to check on my. Thank you. Thanks for that, PC Geek. I'll have to check on my bot and see why he's not working or liking it. Yeah, Nano. Yeah, it is Nano. He is Nano. A lot of people ask about my other dog and why his name isn't Vim. That's exactly what I wanted to name him, Vim. But when we adopted him, his name was Buddy, and it was the only thing he knew. He wouldn't respond to anything else. I mean, yeah, we could have renamed him. Just, RMRF on his name, or just, that would be a move or a copy in Linux. But I wanted to name him Vim. My wife is kind of like, I don't understand. I'm like, you will one day. But we just kept calling him Buddy, and it stuck. So anyways, but yeah. Nano and Buddy. His name would have been Vim. I still should call him Vim. Techno Tim, a show reach out in Discord. By the way, I'm at 20.4K channel points, waiting for the big redemption. Hopefully it'll come soon. I got some changes for everything you see behind me. Everything you see behind me might not be there anymore, so I got some changes coming. All right, awesome. RMRF on a dog. That's rude. I didn't mean on him. I meant on his name. I just meant, when you want to rename a file in Linux, you usually move it. And so you can do an MV. So I would do an MV Buddy, to Vim. Anyways, hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I apologize, I'm a little bit under the weather. Hopefully I kind of masked it a little bit. If I talk normal like this, you can kind of hear it. But anyways, Appreciate you coming out. Thank you so much. There were so many follows and so many subs and gifted subs, and I really appreciate it. Man, I can't say thank you enough. I usually end on this, but yeah, somehow I've been lucky enough to have a community of people who are in my channel, who are here, and that's really all I could ever ask for. Anything above that is above and beyond what I ever could have imagined. So thank you. Like, I still remember there are days when I was just playing games here with one person in my channel, and it was just me. So it was more than I ever could ask for. So I appreciate it, and thank you so much for subs, gifted subs, follows. I said that. If you want to continue the conversation and you haven't joined our Discord, I encourage you to do so. A lot of people have mentioned our Discord channel or Discord server. We have a Discord server full of people. I think it's like we're at 1,600 now. Are my numbers right? What? No, 6,000. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. What am I even doing? Medicine is kicking in. I want to get the right number because I'm 5,600 people. I know where I got the other number from. It's some other metric we were talking about a little while ago. But we have 5,600 people in a Discord server full of great ideas who like to learn, who are interested in home labs, interested in networking, or interested in tech, or who want to... He's ready. Or who just want to connect and communicate with other people that are interested in what they're interested in. So I encourage you to join. I really appreciate you did. I will be back next Saturday, absolutely, to see you, and hopefully I'll have something for you guys later on this week too. So I appreciate it. Have a great rest of the week. Happy New Year. Have a great weekend, and take care, folks.